Once in a while, when I walk the streets, I will meet people, especially an ex-offender. There was one time an ex-offender come up to me and say, "Sir, remember me or not?" I say, "Not really. I got so many prisoners. I work with so many of them." And he said, "Sir, this is my wife, this is my children, And he said, "Thank you for coming to the chapel and speak to us." For about 6 years, I was a volunteer with the Prison Fellowship Singapore. On the weekdays, I wear the uniform. I will work. On a Sunday, I will wear civilian clothes, put on the prison volunteer pass. I will go into the chapel services, and I will share. And he said, "Sir, there was one Sunday you came in, and then you talked about Genesis," and he remembered what I shared. I cannot even remember. He said, "After that, I became a Christian because of what you shared. And this is my wife, this is my children, and now I have an F&B business. Every Thursday afternoon, we will pull the shutter down. I have a pastor from my church. We will come, we will do Bible study. More than 80% of my employees are ex-prisoners. Many of them are saved." He received God's love because I shared God's love with him. Now he's sharing God's love with other people. Question: who shared God's love with me? Well, many years ago, if you look at this picture, this is in a camp. In university, I studied in Australia. I got a government scholarship. When I was on my way there, I wasn't a Christian. At the airport, my dad gave me some advice. No smoking, no drinking, no womanizing, no alcohol, no drugs. Okay? I said, "Yes, Dad." My mom said, "No angmo sin, no angmo ball." Okay? No foreigner wife, no foreigner gods, because anything foreign, my mom is afraid that she will lose a son. But thank God I found my wife there. My wife only stayed 10 minutes from my house in Singapore, so she's a Singaporean. I also found God there. I'm not sure whether you heard of Overseas Christian Fellowship. In Australia, there are different centers. How many of you know Overseas Christian Fellowship? You studied there, right? So every time, beginning of the year, around February, when the foreigner students come from Singapore, East, West, Malaysia, Hong Kong, when we land, there's a group of Christian students from the OCF. They will be looking around. Who are the non-Christians? Wow, Jason Wong, non-Christian. Let's target him. So they targeted me. Looking back, I must thank God that they targeted me. I'm not an easy person to reach out to. I ask a lot of, I call it intelligent questions, but they call it difficult questions. They must have prayed for me, fasted for me, reached out to me. In my first year, I went to join one of these camps and I became a Christian. And because I became a Christian, I came back to Singapore. I heard God's voice, go into the prisons. It was there that Yellow Ribbon Project was started. And subsequently, Dads for Life was started. If that group of students in their late teens, in their early 20s, didn't reach out to this guy, there would not have been a Yellow Ribbon Project in Singapore. There would not be a Dads for Life in Singapore. How many of you are first-generation Christians? That means somebody targeted you, right? Somebody prayed for you. I'm sure they fasted for you. How many of you are second-generation Christians? Or third-generation Christians? That means somebody targeted your parents, or your grandparents. We are here because someone or a group of people thought of us, that we are worthy to be saved. That Jesus died on the cross for us, or for our parents. So my question to all of us this morning is, who are we targeting? Who are you praying for? Who are you reaching out to?